Good morning. This is Theresa Conway-Hayes in Meridian, Idaho, and I am the Stampin' Bookkeeper at www.stampinbookkeeper.com, and that's my blog. You can go to my online store. I don't really like the way this is sitting. Sorry, squirrel. Okay, anyways, and you can shop from my blog. You can see some demonstrations, and you might find some things that you'll like there. Okay, so today's demonstration is, let me get my buttons down right. Okay, so A is this one, and then, sorry about my hand, and then B is this one. Perfect. Okay. I don't know how people do that without getting their hand in the way. So today we're going to use Comfort and Hope cling stamp set. We are going to use and I'm going to go slow just in case anybody has the opportunity to stamp with me this morning. We're going to use Soft Seafoam, Pretty Peacock, and Blushing Bride. We'll also be using the Blushing Bride Stampin' marker, and for cardstock colors we're going to be using, let's see, I think this is Smoky Slate, but I pre-cut my cardstock, so sometimes when the colors are kind of close, like Smoky Slate and Gray Granite, excuse me, I'm not really sure what they are. Excuse me. Then we're going to be using, for the next layer, a piece of the, and I turn my box around, a piece of the In Good Taste DSP. So this gives you a broad overview of what the different pieces look like. We're going to be using this one, which is really cool. It just, I don't know, it looks like, I want to say lava, molten lava, only gray molten lava. Anyways, I love this paper. Now I gotta sneeze. Okay, so we're gonna need a scrap of Whisper White. I've already stamped the front sentiment on there. A 4 by 5 1/4 layer of Whisper White for the inside. And let's see, this is 4 by 5 1/4, this DSP. And then we're going to need this, oh yeah, this is the background layer. And then we need another piece of Pretty Peacock, which I forgot to cut out. So, and I'm running low on Pretty Peacock, so I hope that I have another piece. I didn't even think about that before I got started. Hopefully this will be big enough. It's kind of small. This is all I have left of last year's In Colors. That's it. So while I was doing this morning, I was thinking that I really do need to, I do have some in here. Okay, let's see if I'm going to get lucky and have one more piece. Nope, I grabbed the wrong one. This wasn't where I found it, actually. I have too many hidey holes. I'm always trying to organize in a way that I can get things quickly. Okay, I have layer 1s, which are the 4 by 5 1/4. Didn't put my comments on. Layers here, and this is where I found one earlier. And it doesn't look like I'm going to get lucky. Maybe? Yay! One more piece. Definitely going to have to put an order in for this today. It's a beautiful color. I almost used all of it, that means, for last year. So In Colors lasts 2 years. So I think if I order a full pack, and actually I never ordered full packs of the 2020 colors. I ordered the color combinations because I'm afraid that I'm not going to use it all before it retires. And because I am trying to make this into business, I don't use product that's retired unless I have to. Because, of course, I can't sell you something that has retired. Alright, now, let me just check my sizes here. This is going to be a good size. And then this is not going to be a good size. So I'm going to have to trim this one up. That one I just had to eye because my templates are in my Stampin' camp bag, or my travel bag, all depending on whether I'm traveling or I'm camping. It's easier to cut off too little than too much when you're doing this. Now I'm getting a little impatient. Okay, that'll work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the wreath-like image from the Comfort and Hope set, and we're going to stamp that in Blushing Bride. And I'm going to do that in about the middle. While I've got this inked up, I'm going to grab my inside layer and I'm going to stamp right about there on my inside layer. Okay. Now I'm going to open my simple chamois, or my case with my simple chamois, so that I can clean as I go over here off screen. I love these little containers from probably the dollar store is probably where I got these, because then I can put everything in here that I'm working with for a project, and hopefully it's going to make the demonstration go faster without wasted time. So now I am going to, oh, I didn't even show you the example of what the card is going to look like today. So let me close this Blushing Bride before I get ink on things. This is the example of the card that we're going to make today. It's a collage type card. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the inside layer and the outside layer synonymously. It's not a word I should try to say. I'm getting ink on me because the new pads are pretty juicy, typically. So now I need the leaf image from this stamp set. And I'm going to do one there. And I'm going to do one here. Okay. I may have stamped off the last time I did that, but that's okay. So now I'm going to also do the same for the inside. How did I do the inside? Oh, the inside I did like this. Full strength, and then stamp off. Okay, and then I took, I'm going to leave that open because I'll be using it again. I took soft sea foam, and actually I'm going to do my dots first. So I heard this image described as looking like, see if I can say this word, faceted dots. And I'm looking to see if I stamped off. I don't think that I did. Put one there, and one over here. I'm going to give up on the inside because it's dividing my focus too much. Okay, now I'm going to take the soft sea foam, and I heard this described as a hashtag. And I like to use full strength for this soft sea foam because it is such a light ink. I want to be able to see it. Now I'm going to clean that. Oh, I already did clean it, so I can use this leaf image. I'm going to do full strength, and let's see, the last thing I want to do is use the smaller dots in the set, and I'm going to do those in soft sea foam as well. There, fix the goof. When you have a goof, you just stamp more. Alright, I think I'm happy with how that looks now. 1, 2, 3, 3 branches. Yes, okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stitched rectangle, and I'm going to center this, and I'm going to cut it out with the Big Shot. And I will be right back after I do that. I'm really not going anywhere. It's right over here to the side, but I'll have the project right back. It's going to take me a minute to decide where this needs to go, because I am not one of the best persons at centering. For this, I'm using my sandwich is the magnetic platform and 2 plates. Oh, and these stitched rectangles don't like to cut all the way through, at least not for me, not on this sandwich that I use. So I have to put it through at least twice. Last time I put it through 3 times, but it looks like twice is going to work. Still wants to fight me a little bit. So I'm going to run it through one more time because I do not want a tear. I hope I didn't mess that up. Three times for that sandwich does it. Okay, now I can put this away. I'm just looking to see if I left out. Yes, I did. Because I don't like to lose things, and if I don't put them away right away, that's a recipe for losing things. So now the next thing is that I am going to mount this on my layer. Now this layer is a little bit bigger than what I wanted, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my liquid glue and adhere it. My liquid glue is behind my computer. I like liquid glue because it is forgiving. So I just put a nice bead all around the outside area. Then some zigzag on the inside. I used to try and go more sparingly, but it doesn't have the same forgiveness if I go sparingly. So I'm going to line this up correctly on 2 edges because I only want about 1/8 of an inch around the border, and then I'm going to trim the other 2 sides. That's another way to get even border on all sides. It's my cheat hack. Too much. That's as perfect as I can get. I love this little machine. Now let's go ahead and glue this rectangle, cut out rectangle, onto the pretty peacock layer. How have I been doing about keeping my project on screen? So I use Switcher Studio to do my Facebook Lives, and it doesn't tell me if or how many people are watching. So I'm basically talking to myself because I never know if anybody's here. And I haven't built a big enough audience to know that I'm always going to have somebody watch me. Someday. Ooh, that's doing real good on 3 sides. Just going to trim a little bit off the bottom. So that one will get mounted onto there with dimensionals. Let's go ahead and finish my sentiment. So I've already stamped sending you a paper hug. I'm going to stamp the hashtag in soft sea foam. And then I'm going to do some faceted circles. And then I'm going to do some soft sea foam little circles. I think I'll be able to get that goof off with the punch. Let's see. Sometimes I will trim the red rubber stamps a little bit if I find that I'm having a lot of trouble. You know, some people don't have trouble with it because maybe they don't apply the same pressure as I do. Okay. I'm not going to be able to hide that very much. I already messed up the other side. I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to get another piece of scrap. You know what? I did this backwards, actually. That one I didn't do right, and I didn't even realize that till just now. So the front is supposed to say, sometimes there are no words. Okay. Now I'm really getting scatterbrained. Sometimes there are no words in Pretty Peacock. Hashtag and soft sea foam. Faceted dots in Pretty Peacock. Little dots in soft sea foam. One, two, three. I tap 3 times when I find that I'm doing an overlay, and that kind of helps keep me under control. Okay, that's better. So now I'm going to cut this out with my timeless label punch. And I'm going to take this Blushing Bride marker, the fine point, and I'm just going to draw some stitches around. Now my stitches that I draw are like hand stitches because they're kind of crooked. So I don't stitch with a machine, which matches real life because I don't own a machine. Not even sure. I know I have needles because I have them for clearing out glue bottles. But I don't know if I have any thread other than Stampin' Up! Thread, which is what I'm going to use for the bow. And this is a retired product. The demonstration that I saw, which was, who was it that I was watching? I meant to write it down. Stampin' a thing? Sorry, can't remember. Okay, so now we're going to put dimensions on the back of this. There's that sneeze. So the demonstration that I watched used the gold thread from the greenery suite that I'm not going to buy because I have way too much foliage. So I'm not going to buy another foliage set. It's been tempting. It's beautiful, beautiful suite. And it's been very tempting. But I will buy that gold thread in my next order when I order Pretty Peacock. Wished I was using my paper grid sheet because then I could write these notes down. Alright, so now we need to take this and that will go there. Covering up all of my pretty green. So I'm going to have to do some more pretty green dots that will show. And of course then I press too hard. Oh well. I'm done with worrying about that. Plus it's on dimensions now, so that's making it more difficult too. Okay, so now we're going to put this here, and before we do that, we're going to take the glue dots and I'm going to put a glue dot right here. And then I've already tied my bow. So if you have some of this wire and you wanted to do something like this, what I did was I pulled off a very long string of wire, and then I doubled it up and tripled it up and maybe quadrupled it up. And then what I did was I taped off the ends, because with my trimmers it's really hard to tie a bow as it is without little wispy wires going all over the place. So I used some Scotch tape to keep that under control, and now I can cut my ends. Last time I was able to just pull the tape off. Yep, it worked that way again. You have to be careful though, because I don't want to pull a strand. I don't think I'm going to get lucky twice though. So I can also cut some of this tape off to hopefully let it come off easier. There it is. Done. Now, put that knot right towards the top of my glue dot, and line that up. Trying to spread things out. Now we need some embellishments. Now, I don't know what these embellishments are. They were kind of hanging out by themselves. They're probably like clear faceted gems or something like that. But they look pretty. And one thing that I have a goal for myself this year is to use my stuff up before I buy new. I always have that goal. And I often fail miserably at reaching that goal. But I'm trying. And I'm just not going to worry so much if, yeah, I don't like that on there. Let's put it up here and cover up part of that goof. There we go. I like that better. So now we're going to adhere this to the card base with liquid glue. Always have to check my orientation. corners up a little bit. Okay, now we can put this piece, let's see, I'm going to do my inside first because it'll be easier. So I have to finish my inside. Wow, I did make this bow a lot thicker. I want it to be more wispy. I like my other bow better. Oh wow. Okay, so now we're going to put some faceted dots. I'm going to stamp off. And we need the sentiment. Did I not take the sentiment out, or is this it? Sometimes there are no words, right? And then, or maybe I didn't take it out. I didn't. Sending you a paper hug. I'm going to put it over here. That's where I want it. Okay, now inside. Got our leaves. We need our hashtag. And then we need our little dots. And that's done. So I have 2 of these cards, and I'm going to fix the other one so that it has the right sentiment on the front. I have 2 of these cards. If you would like me to send you one of these 2 cards, I will send one of these 2 cards to the first 2 people that like my YouTube channel. once this Facebook Live has completed, I will upload this video to my YouTube channel, and then I will share the URL on this Facebook Live. I hope that made sense. I'm trying really hard to get 100 subscribers. I mean, it'll be nice to have more if I get 100 subscribers, but all I really care about is 100 subscribers, and the reason for that, amongst other reasons, is that then I can get a custom URL. So I don't have to have that gobbledygook stuff. Alright, so I've got my bling on there, everything's stamped, the inside is done, and so if you would be interested in one of these cards, be one of the first 2 people, or 2 of the first 2 people, not sure how to say that, that like, or subscribe, not like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please put a comment on my YouTube channel that you've done that. I really don't care if you put the comment on Facebook or YouTube, wherever. Just let me know I subscribed, and so the first 2 people that say I've subscribed will get one of these cards. And again, this one will be fixed. So I'll be doing some surgery on this card so that I can fix the sentiment. Yep. Okay, well, thanks for spending time with me. If you read the post that goes with this Facebook Live, you'll see that we are still in bonus days, and that for every $50 that you spend, you get a $5 gift certificate. And so bonus days are going, and then you get to spend that $5 certificate in August. There are no specials that I can think of for joining right now, but I would love to have more demonstrators join me in this wonderful journey. And I do special things for people who join my line. I'm not very good at using the terminology. I am not a used car salesperson. I just like to create, and I like to share, and in my mind that's the best kind of business to have, because you're having fun and you're doing good things. So that's the type of business I get into. Going kind of long here. We're at 44 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for taking your time and watching this. Any constructive feedback is always welcome, and I will talk to you next time. Goodbye.